interview of Kit Strief. Some background on Mr. Strief is that he is currently a member of the College Sports Information Directors of America, which is also called COSIDA. And he also serves on the NCBWA Sports Central Region Baseball Committee. He also has a bachelor's degree in journalism, mass communication, and TV radio, as well as a master's in sports administration, to go along with 22 years of experience in athletic communications. He is currently at Valdosta State, but prior to his tenure at Valdosta State, he also had tenures at West Texas A&M, University of South Dakota, Montana State University, and South Alabama. Before coming to Valdosta and these other tenures, he had a graduate internship at Disney's Wide World of Sports in Orlando. While he was there, he worked in sports media relations and was a client service and in client service promotion. Some key interview facts and key points. First off, when I first asked him what was his motivation for this career, he said the love of sports. And then I asked him about what were the best parts of his jobs and the hardest. The best parts, he said, were the game days and major events and the variety of the job. Now, he said the hardest thing was obviously the stress and how demanding it is to be proactive in the job and being prepared ahead of time. Another thing that he has mentioned was also that when he first started in college, that his parents were his 100% support when it came to pushing for his career. Another thing he also said was what people underestimate about the job is how passionate people are in this and in the salaries, and that if you aren't 100% into it, then it's not going to be what's for you. Another thing he also said was that there are a lot of sacrifices that you have to take to be in this job, whether it be moving around a lot or whether it be personal life, not being able to go out on Saturdays and Sundays and tailgate. Instead, you're on the sideline and you're working. Some important information that stuck with me. Some things that he had told me were, one, the COSIDA conventions that he told me that happened in St. Louis when he was in college, where he got to be able to be interviewed by several different places, and then some people were able to offer him jobs, where he ultimately picked one of the places that he ended up going, which is actually University of North Las Vegas, where he first started out. Now, some other key points that I gained from this was that even though this career is hard, it is worth it. And you might not be staying in one spot, but you'll be able to get that surrounding of being able to see everybody and be able to know everything and being able to have the importance and the facts of where you're at. One thing he had told me about pieces of advice were to be better at writing and journalism on that side of aspects, as well as stats and doing statistics overall. Being able to do that will help you be able to have a more variety of range when it comes to internships and job applications, not just being good on the media side of things. Another piece of information he gave me that I thought was valuable is when he told me that a good thing to do is to walk into the sports administration's office, and ask them to be a student assistant or do something regarding athletics so you can get well versed and well rounded, because other schools and other opportunities are going to like that the most. With that, knowing how big that is, that was a key piece of information for me. What would I do differently about this interview? Ultimately, I honestly wouldn't change anything about this interview. I was on the phone with Mr. Strief for a little over an hour, and we were having a very good conversation about the entire interview. Whether it be about the 12 questions, whether it be about just the communications aspect and going into the job, it was ultimately a really good interview, and he was very informative and very open and conversating, which I very much appreciated, because it made me a lot more comfortable when I was able to be talking to him and knowing the knowledge that I need to know. And so I wouldn't change anything about how I went.